Hey guys, I'm super excited. I'm here today with Seid, the man, the myth, the legend, the artist behind the Instagram Look Inside, hence the title of his first book, The Love Inside. Check out the link in his bio to the GoFundMe to print more of these beautiful books. Sean, I've been looking at this beautiful book, I've been checking out your work, and I have to ask you. Hey, you guys want some tea? Oh, yeah. Do you have any green tea? Of course. Perfect, thank you. Double lemon. Sure. Honey, but only if it's local. Thank you. Sean, I've been checking out this beautiful book, looking at all of your work on the Instagram. I have to ask you, who do you think you are? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? Who are we? Who am I? That's what I'm looking to discover. I really feel like I began this artistic expression, this collection of poetry and photography that has continued to evolve over time. I'm doing it in a way to find the worth, to find the value, to find the truth inside of myself. And what I keep discovering along the way is that I'm not any one thing. I can't be pinned down to being just a poet or just a musician or just a man. I feel like I am an ever-shifting expression of the universe that we all are, essentially. And what I'm looking to do with this project is to continue to make available, to continue to share with my friends, with my community, with anybody who might receive the value from looking at this journey, that we can all not only inspire but also encourage and support one another in these really difficult inward journeys, because ultimately, even though they are at times scary, at times just dark and difficult, what we find, or at least what I found, and what I continue to find, is that the more we dig in, the more we really look inside of ourselves, learn how to get honest with what we feel, what we think, what we want, what we believe, the beliefs that no longer serve us, we continue to allow ourselves to evolve, to show up more and more present in each moment, and allow ourselves to be only what we are for that moment. So that's who I am right now. All right, Sean, how about you read one of your poems? Of course. This is a poem called Write It Yourself. We've learned enough to know we aren't always in control, and life has more than a few hands to teach us of surrender. And yet we have our dreams, we manifest these things. As our awareness rises, we begin to remember that though the river bends according to her whims, we write the stories of all our great adventures. These are legendary times. Let us become the characters that legend beckons us to be. Let us discover who we are through the course of this journey. Sean, I noticed that this book talks a lot about love and God. As somebody who doesn't really believe in your sky daddy, why don't you go ahead and try to convince me of your superstitious beliefs? Yeah, honestly, I was originally uncomfortable with the idea of using the word God, of having anything that feels even vaguely religious. But I feel like poetry for me is really about using language in a way to achieve effects, to elicit emotions, to prompt deeper investigation. And I think that God, for me, is a placeholder of a word. It's something that's really ineffable. It's larger than my comprehension, and yet it's something that I find myself in relation to. It's a way of how I'm making sense of being, of having this incredibly beautiful human experience, finding value in the challenges, finding a sense of trust for the incredible suffering in the world, and having a sense of faith that I am and that we are all deeply supported, no matter where we may be or what we may be experiencing, that this life is not the end-all, be-all, that this isn't just a YOLO one-off, but that there's something immense and beautiful that we have the honor of being a part of. Sean, I've gathered that you probably dropped out of college, didn't you? And you're just doing this because you don't want to get a real job. Who do you think you are to try to make money like this? Yeah, honestly, I've struggled with that. I've struggled with capitalism in general for a long time. There was a time when I thought that I could just escape the matrix and run off to the woods, be a vagabond with simple needs. But what I found, the message that I received when I got to the woods, is that I needed to learn how to come back and be with the people, to learn how to adapt to the system as it is, and then find creative ways to reprogram the matrix. I believe that we've been relating to money in a certain way for a long time that is clearly not benefiting the planet or the people, and that we have an opportunity to reprogram, to re-believe, to tell new stories about how we relate to money and how money relates to us, and to create a culture that not only supports the plants, the animals, the world at large, communities, children, water, but we can create a culture that celebrates the creative spirit. And so my effort through this project is to prove, to embody, to show that an artist doesn't need to be starving, that we all have something beautiful inside of ourselves to express. And why shouldn't we be supported in doing that? Why shouldn't we learn how to support one another in doing that? Sean, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot going on in the world. Pandemic, economic collapse, the degradation of democracy, human rights violations, child slavery, global warming, super hornet. With all of this that's going on, why don't you do something that actually matters? I've struggled to figure out how I can be of service. And what I have found when I have continued to dig in is that I have a certain set of gifts, I have a certain set of skills, I have certain things that I love to do. And poetry, art creation in general, these are ways that I find I can elicit the value from inside of myself, that I can bring it out and share it with people, that I can bring joy, that I can bring insight, that I can bring a sense of camaraderie, support, encouragement. I feel like this is what I'm called to do, that this is the most helpful thing that I can do in the world, is learn how to be fully myself, even the parts that are weird or culturally not so accepted, and in that way encourage other people to feel like they can, that they are allowed, that they should do that at this time, that if we are to take this opportunity to change the world that we live in, we have to do it by being and becoming more fully ourselves. Hey guys, soup's ready. Sean, it's been an honor to hang out with you. I gotta ask, what's next for the Look Inside project? Honestly, I'm taking that day by day. Right now I do have the GoFundMe up. Link is in the bio for a second press of my first book, The Love Inside. In addition to intuition cards, prints in all sizes and mediums. And I look to continue to dig in, to find new ways to evolve as an artist, as a creative, to continue to find the value inside of my journey and inside of myself, and to share that with you. I just want to thank everyone who has supported this project, some people from the very beginning. I really appreciate everyone who continues to tell me that they find value in this work, that continues to support me in being and becoming this artist, and and allowing me to find ways to support and encourage all of you. I feel like I'm learning how to be part of a community, and I'm very, very grateful for the incredibly generous, inspirational, and creative community that has supported me throughout this process. Thank you. As you were saying?